Willow Creek was a peaceful village nestled amongst rolling hills. The village was known for its serene beauty and the sense of tranquility that enveloped it. The hills, covered in lush greenery, provided a picturesque backdrop that seemed to be taken straight out of a storybook. The villagers took pride in maintaining the natural beauty of their surroundings, ensuring that Willow Creek remained a haven of peace and quiet. It was a place where children played freely, and laughter echoed through the cobblestone streets. The sound of their joy was a constant reminder of the simple pleasures of life. The streets, lined with quaint cottages and blooming gardens, were always filled with the vibrant energy of the young ones. The villagers often paused to watch the children, their hearts warmed by the sight of such unbridled happiness. Mia, a bright-eyed girl with a thirst for adventure, lived in a cozy cottage with her loyal dog, Max. Mia was known for her boundless curiosity and her love for exploring the nooks and crannies of Willow Creek. Her cottage, with its ivy-covered walls and flower-filled garden, was a reflection of her vibrant spirit. Max, her faithful companion, shared in all her adventures, always ready to follow her lead. Max, with his wagging tail and playful spirit, was always by Mia's side. His loyalty and affection were unwavering, and he had a special way of making every moment feel like an adventure. Whether they were chasing butterflies in the meadow or playing hide-and-seek among the trees, Max's presence made everything more fun and exciting. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the village, Mia and Max were enjoying their evening walk. The golden light of the setting sun bathed the village in a warm glow, creating a magical atmosphere. The shadows stretched out, adding a touch of mystery to the familiar landscape. It was during these walks that Mia felt most connected to the beauty of her home. The air was sweet with the scent of honeysuckle, and the sky was ablaze with hues of orange and purple. The vibrant colors painted a breathtaking picture that seemed to change with every passing moment. Mia loved to pause and take in the beauty of the sunset, feeling a sense of peace and contentment wash over her. The scent of honeysuckle added to the sensory experience, making the evening walks even more special.
"Ha-ha! Come on, Max!" Mia's voice rang out with excitement as she called to her dog. Her laughter was infectious, and Max responded with equal enthusiasm, bounding towards her with his tail wagging furiously.
Mia skipped ahead, her laughter echoing in the quiet evening air. The simple joy of skipping down the cobblestone streets filled her with a sense of freedom and happiness. The villagers often smiled as they watched her, reminded of their own childhoods and the carefree days of youth. Max bounded after her, his tongue lolling out in a happy grin. His playful antics brought joy to everyone who saw him, and he was a beloved member of the community. The bond between Mia and Max was evident to all, and their adventures were a source of delight for the entire village. The villagers were returning home after a long day, their faces illuminated by the warm glow of the streetlights. The soft light created a cozy and inviting atmosphere, making the village feel like a safe haven. The sense of community was strong, and the villagers often stopped to chat with one another, sharing stories and laughter as they made their way home. The streetlights, with their antique charm, were a source of comfort and familiarity. Their gentle glow provided a sense of continuity and tradition, linking the past with the present. As the night settled in, the village of Willow Creek remained a place of peace and harmony, where the simple joys of life were cherished and celebrated. As Mia and Max rounded a corner, Mia noticed something strange. The air felt different, charged with an eerie energy that made the hairs on the back of her neck stand up. She glanced at Max, who seemed to sense it too, his ears perked up and his eyes alert. One of the streetlights flickered and then went out, casting a long shadow over the street. The sudden darkness was unsettling, as if the light had been swallowed by the night itself.
"That's odd. Why would the lights go out like that?"
A moment later, another light, further down the street, suffered the same fate. It was as if an invisible hand was snuffing them out one by one. It sputtered, and then plunged into darkness, leaving the street even more foreboding. The pattern was clear now. Something was causing the lights to vanish. Mia's eyes widened in alarm. The streetlights were disappearing one by one. She felt a chill run down her spine as the darkness crept closer. Max, sensing her unease, whined softly and nudged her hand with his wet nose. His presence was comforting, a small beacon of warmth in the growing cold.
"Something's not right, Max. This isn't just a power outage."
The once familiar street now seemed eerie and unsettling in the dimming light. Shadows danced on the walls, and the silence was almost deafening. Mia's adventurous spirit kicked in. She wouldn't stand idly by while something mysterious unfolded in her beloved village. She had to find out what was happening, no matter how frightening it seemed. Determined to get to the bottom of the disappearing lights, Mia, with Max by her side, decided to investigate. They moved cautiously, every step filled with a mix of fear and excitement, ready to uncover the secrets hidden in the shadows. Mia and Max cautiously made their way down the street, their eyes peeled for any clues. The remaining streetlights flickered nervously, as if afraid they would be next to vanish. As they reached the edge of the village, where the houses gave way to a dense forest, Mia noticed something peculiar. A faint ethereal glow emanated from the undergrowth, beckoning them forward.
What is that, Max?
Mia whispered, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. Max whined softly and nudged her hand, as if urging her to follow the mysterious light. With Max leading the way, they cautiously entered the forest, the mysterious glow growing stronger with each step. The glowing trail led them deeper and deeper into the heart of the forest. Each step they took seemed to echo with the whispers of ancient trees, and the air grew cooler and more mysterious. The trees loomed tall and imposing, their branches intertwined overhead, blocking out the last rays of the setting sun. Shadows danced around them, creating an eerie yet enchanting atmosphere. Finally, they arrived at a clearing bathed in an otherworldly light. The air was filled with a soft melodic hum, as if the forest itself was singing a lullaby. In the center stood a magnificent oak tree, its leaves shimmering with 1,000 tiny lights. The tree seemed to pulse with life, each light flickering like a heartbeat. And hovering amongst the branches was a tiny figure with delicate iridescent wings. The figure moved gracefully, leaving a trail of sparkling dust in its wake.
Who are you? Mia's eyes widened in awe as she gazed at the tiny glowing figure.
Mia asked, her voice barely a whisper. She could hardly believe her eyes. Fairies were the stuff of bedtime stories and dreams. The tiny figure fluttered down and perched on a nearby mushroom. Her wings glowed softly, casting a gentle light around her.
I am Lumina, the light fairy. Her voice was like the tinkling of tiny bells, clear and melodious. And I need your help. Lumina's eyes sparkled with urgency and hope.
Lumina explained that her home, the Crystal Cave, was losing its magical light. The cave, once a beacon of brilliance, was now dim and lifeless. She had been taking the village lights to try and replenish it. Each light she collected was a small hope to restore the cave's former glory, but it wasn't enough. The village had noticed the missing lights, and the nights had grown darker and colder. The villagers were worried and confused, not knowing the true reason behind the vanishing lights. Mia felt a surge of determination. She knew she had to help Lumina and save the Crystal Cave. The fate of the magical forest and the village depended on it. Together, Mia and Lumina set off on a quest to find a way to restore the magical light, their hearts filled with hope and courage.
Mia's heart went out to the light fairy. She understood how important light was to the village, and she couldn't bear the thought of Lumina losing her home. "We'll help you," Mia declared, her voice filled with determination.
Max barked in agreement, wagging his tail enthusiastically.
Lumina's face brightened with hope. Thank you, she whispered. But what can you do?
Mia looked up at the sky. The moon, full and bright, hung like a silver coin against the velvet backdrop of the night. An idea sparked in her mind.
"Lumina," Mia said excitedly, "what if we use the moon's light to help your home?"
The moon's light? That's a wonderful idea.
Together, Mia, Max, and Lumina gathered a collection of shimmering dewdrops from the forest floor. They carefully placed the dewdrops in a circle around the base of the oak tree. As the moonbeams struck the dewdrops, they acted as tiny prisms, refracting the light and creating a magical beam that shot up towards the crystal cave. Lumina, her wings fluttering with joy, guided the beam of moonlight towards her home. Slowly but surely, the magical light of the crystal cave was restored. Lumina, her face beaming with gratitude, showered Mia and Max with blessings of good fortune. With the crystal cave bathed in the soft glow of the moon, Lumina turned her attention back to the village. With a flick of her wrist, she sent the stolen streetlights back to their rightful places. The village, once shrouded in darkness, was once again illuminated by the warm, familiar glow.
Thank you, Mia and Max. You have saved my home and my magic.
Mia and Max, their hearts filled with the joy of helping others, bid farewell to Lumina and made their way back to the village. As they walked, they could hear the sounds of laughter and music resuming now that the lights were back on. Upon reaching home, Mia recounted their adventure to her parents, who listened with wide-eyed amazement.
You see, Mia, even the smallest act of kindness can have the biggest impact.
Mia nodded, her heart warmed by her mother's words. She had learned a valuable lesson that day, a lesson about the importance of kindness, courage, and teamwork. As she drifted off to sleep that night, with Max curled up at the foot of her bed, Mia knew that she would never forget her encounter with Lumina, the Light Fairy. From that day forward, the village of Willow Creek held a special kind of magic for Mia. It was a magic that shimmered in the dewdrops on the grass each morning, a magic that whispered in the rustling leaves of the trees, and a magic that shone brightly in the smiles of the villagers. And Mia, with Max always by her side, knew that as long as there was kindness in her heart, the magic would always be there.